Sidebar, curveball. Just want to throw in that I'm going to be putting, hopefully, this video into here somewhere along this process. But let me just go ahead and give you some. Hopefully, they knew. That's what you expected to kind of do after reading all this and laying it all in for code and stuff like that. So I hope that I'm on the Machine City line here. But I like how I did this. I wanted to cut off specifically here with what I definitely knew and wanted to jump back on the train, especially with these two. Let's begin to process out the whole problem. We're here. You actually jumped on it for your project. Your first write out of why you're here. What do you? That was what was offered to me. I probably should tighten it up with the learning process and getting it in there so I stay with it, because otherwise it's HTB's project here. You might get lost in the H1. That happens, especially certain. There was one part of the reading inside of here where, when you're looking at his page, it talks about the goals, and it almost looks like import py gaming or game, and then its criteria, which is essentially this, really. I mean, if we're on the subject, we're just looking at a code. And so that's why I would imagine before you can even get to this, there's a couple of little glitches on the page that I missed. The very first walkthrough where you have to put the numbers in the screen where they're supposed to go without giving it away, make it an easy one. Of course, I bumped my fingers around on it a couple of times, and I wanted to make sure that I'm putting stuff like this in here to make sure from a client's perspective, regardless. I'm going to start integrating stone mill material in here. What is it, Alamos or Petria or the Mouse Ecotopia experiment for my local parcel map anyways. At some point in time, we're going to have to jump onto that train. That's part of the goals with this overall cybersecurity of some of the flaw hypothesis methods with that right there. I mean, as far as what we have capability of doing with it, this opens up the map quite a bit. Here, your goals, question at the end, retaining information. This is your very first process up here, way of thinking and building that. Now, a couple of them are mindsets. We want to make sure that we're touching on the material, but don't necessarily get on the trolley car and try to break down what that's going on here. We want to penetrate through that Bohr model and make sure we're catching kids on the black body problem, I think, is the best way to explain it. But you'd have to be reading this information instead of me presenting this information to you, because from this core position, A1, I would imagine that, I'm going to tighten that up too. Oh, no, maybe not. I'd imagine that you want to learn how to do this, which, back to the stone mill, I'm going to need you to do this. I specifically call it the stonecutters technique. So while you were baited into this tech hacky game, I'm going to eventually start to drop back in some of my material that I already have in other forums. Just because I can. Now, that's going to be out there as far as what that is, or any other material that I'd have inside of there to help you with your daily processes of documentation, the cybersecurity attack, shits and giggles systems there. But to be real, I have other material that's going to be a little weird for you when we're in that stone mill, burning rock on the cut coefficients and the saw cut lines of what that is. And so just want to keep it in mind, guys. I'm with you.